Hi students, welcome to week 7 as we enter module 4. This week we will be talking about some ancient Buddhist teachings, how the mind can be changed positively by a meditative practice. And we also have some amazing, this is my favorite week, we have some amazing information about the neuroscience of mindfulness as we enter into module 4. So I'm going to be a neuroscience nerd this week, but that is my specialty. I love the neurology of the brain. So we're going to talk about how meditation affects the brain, the neuroscience of mindfulness. There's a great video by Shauna Shapiro, Mindfulness Meditation in the Brain. And then there's also one video on mindfulness, the brain, and behavior change. So an article. So taking the time to look at those. And then there's a deeper dive of supplementary materials, more information on neurobiology of mindfulness that you can access. So this week during week 7, you have a journal due by Friday, and that's going to align with your objectives 1 and 2 of the course. And I just want to make sure that you are working on your final projects. Last week, you all had amazing discussions about what your project was going to be on and what were you going to do for it. So now just put that into practice, right? Put that into your PowerPoint, get started on that so that when you get to the next couple of weeks, you will already have most of that done. So you already take what you have from your discussion board, take any feedback from your peers or myself, and then start to build your presentation, and you will have it done in no time. So don't wait until the last week because then it's just going to cause you extra stress, and that's the whole point of not having stress, right? Or having stress. So stress that is like, neutral, right? So we want to make sure that if we can just work on it slowly this week, the next couple of weeks, you may already have most of it built, then you will be able to just slowly kind of ease into making any changes and finishing that up by the time it's due. So here are the videos that you have due. There is their supplementary materials, and you are going to, there's actually some information on AI, customized guided imagery, and you're going to look at this journal for mountain meditation. So follow along with week 7's journal, and you're going to be participating in this for 5 days this week, and then using this self-assessment as always up here to just note for yourself. You can discuss it in your journal. You don't have to post the actual self-assessment in your journal unless you want to, because it is part of your journal, and that's however you like to set it up. So make sure that you look at what's happening in week 8 coming up. You're going to have that discussion board and a journal for 3 hours of mindfulness of a single day coming up as well. So I've pulled up the module 4, just so you can see this in the syllabus on page 5. You've got your module or week 7, journal 7 is due, or journal for week 7. And then next week you'll have your discussion and a journal. And that's going to be, as you can see, you have that session of mindfulness, the longer session. So look ahead to that so you know what's expected. And then week 9, you'll have a discussion board. And week 10 will be your final project, and you'll have a final journal. So these next few weeks are going to fly by. So get your project as much done as you can, or a lot worked on, so that you can submit it a little early. And then you'll only have a discussion board and journal, and you'll be on your way to finishing. So if you have any questions, please email me. That's the best way to reach me. You can also text me and say, I have a quick question, and I'd be happy to meet with you on Zoom, or, talk on the phone if that's easier for you. And then you can again go through and note that the final project here starts on page 8. You can see the purpose of the project to help you develop a mini mindfulness training. This is something that you might be able to work with your nurse manager, or if you are a leader, implement that into your classes. And then you're going to create a video, PowerPoint with voiceover, written report, or other media based on the content. Creatively, you can be creative, but you want to remember that it's about your content of the media and not so much your artistic or technical abilities. So, 10 points per day for submissions after the deadline. So you want to make sure that you can open it in Blackboard once you upload it. If you need help with that, let me know, or you can send me an email and just quickly ask, can you open my project, and double check it. I'd be happy to do that. And then you can see the rubric elements. So I grade right off of this, showing the points earned, describing the stress response. So don't miss any parts of this. This is where students tend to lose points, is not so much that they don't have enough content. It's typically that they don't include it. So make sure that you cover all of these components. And then conclusion, explaining your mini mindfulness training, and then your presentation style and your APA format. And then be mindful of the peer-reviewed references number. There should be 10 to 12, and they should be in correct APA format. So if you have any questions, please reach out. Students usually always do well on these, so I'm not worried about any of you not doing well. Just make sure you capture all of the components, and I hope you have fun with this, because it's just a fun project to be able to create your own mini mindfulness training that you could potentially share with your peers. So I look forward to seeing your journals this week. Again, you have this time extra to work on your final presentation so that it's ready. So if you have any questions, please reach out. I'll be happy to meet with you or connect. And I hope you have a wonderful week.